Right then, Rangers supporters gather in because today feels like one of those days where something hangs in the air around Ibrox. That quiet buzz you can almost feel before anything even happens. It is the kind of atmosphere that makes folks stop and think, maybe things are about to shift. Voices here and there whisper about changes, about movement, about decisions that could shape what comes next for the club. Nothing is confirmed, nay announcement on the table, but the way folk talk tells you plenty. Someone like that brings memories, pride, leadership, and maybe that is exactly what the team has been missing. The stadium demands players who understand what it means to wear that shirt. The weight of every pass, every mistake, every goal scored in front of a support that expects nothing less than full commitment. Still, nostalgia alone doesn't win matches, and the focus turns to the next challenge on the pitch. Tonight, it is St. Mirren at Ibrox, and that is nay small fixture. It is another test for Danny Rue as he tries to keep this run of improvement going after that win over Motherwell. Under the lights, with the noise building and every seat filled, these are the kind of nights that demand more than just a tidy performance. They demand mentality. St. Mirren will not walk in afraid, mate. They have taken moments of success recently, and that alone is enough to give a team belief. But Rangers cannot afford to treat this like any ordinary match. 3 points here matter. 3 points set the tone. 3 points stop the doubts before they grow arms and legs. And then there is the transfer talk. The new rumor floating about concerns a young Nigerian winger playing in Slovakia, just 19 years old, right-footed on the left side, the kind that cuts inside to make things happen. He plays in the Slovak First League, in the top flight, and despite being so young, he has numbers that make you look twice. 12 matches, 3 goals, 2 assists in the league, and when you add the cup, it is 7 goal contributions in 14 games. That is 1 in 2, not bad at all for someone still learning. Back home in Nigeria, he made 19 appearances with 11 goals and 2 assists, so the potential is there. Quick feet, confident on the ball, likes to run at defenders and force them into mistakes. It is the kind of profile Rangers have lacked for a while now. Folk argue back and forth about what the squad needs most. Some say leadership first, others say creativity, others say pace, but look at the wide areas and it tells its own story. The current wingers just are not supplying enough. Too many matches where Rangers dominate the ball and finish with only 1 goal to show for it. Too many chances that never turn into proper shots. A lot of performances scraped by a single goal, 1-0 or 2-1. Matches where the defense actually does its job, but the attack just cannot bury the chances that appear. It is almost ironic considering Rangers have one of the best defensive records in the league, yet still feel fragile because these tight scorelines leave no room for error. It is the final third where things fall apart. So when a talent like this young winger is linked, it makes sense. Not as a guaranteed savior, not as a player who walks in and fixes everything, but as someone who offers a different threat, someone who brings genuine pace, actual 1v1 danger, and the ability to break a match open instead of waiting for something to fall kindly. European giants have been watching him. Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain, Ajax, Brentford, even English sides from the top flight. But the difference is simple. They would likely stash him in a youth setup or as a project. Rangers could genuinely offer minutes, a real shot at a senior squad place under real pressure, in front of real expectation. For a player that age, that is priceless. Not every footballer wants to disappear into a reserve league somewhere. Some want noise, responsibility, and the chance to stand up under the lights. Meanwhile, St Mirren arrive with a mixed set of results, but with enough spark to be dangerous. They beat Celtic in the cup final, so they will walk into Ibrox believing they can handle the moment. Even if their league form is scattered, even if their goals scored are low and their losses outnumber their wins, confidence from a trophy matters. Historically, Ibrox is a brutal venue for them. Dozens of matches, only 3 wins, the last one before last season, all the way back to 1989. But last season's result changed the tone. That 2-0 defeat, goals from Mandron and Olusanya, hit like a warning shot and marked the beginning of the end of a previous managerial era. It reminded everyone that if intensity drops, even for a moment, points disappear. That alone should fuel tonight. Rotation is on the table as well. Chimiti might lose his place for Mioski. Asgard might move or drop. Sutar could return and bring a different balance at the back. Tired legs from the weekend means someone will need managing. These decisions define a manager. Not every call will please the crowd, but every call matters. You need players who show personality, who do not hide when the match becomes messy, who take responsibility with the ball and without it. This fixture demands that kind of response. If there is one thing that defines Rangers right now, it is that feeling of standing between what has been and what could be. Every match speaks louder than the last, and if the team really wants to show that this is not just another false dawn, then performances like tonight cannot be routine. They need to feel like statements. When the whistle goes and the ball starts moving, Ibrox always tells the truth. It does not care about excuses. It does not care about rumors or injuries or tired legs from the weekend. It cares about who steps up, who fights for every yard, who plays like they understand what that shirt represents, and that is exactly where the pressure lands on the forwards. The goals have to come. The chances have to be taken. The crowd will not accept drifting through matches and hoping for something to break kindly. There is too much at stake for that. That is why the conversation about signings becomes more than gossip. It becomes a question about identity. Rangers do not just need footballers, they need characters. They need someone who plays like every sprint matters, every duel matters, every cross into the box could change the night. The young Nigerian winger being linked feels like that kind of gamble that could go either way, but maybe that is what this team needs. Not another safe option, not another signing that keeps things the same. Someone who pushes defenders back. Someone who forces teams to drop deeper because they do not want to be exposed, even if he is still learning the game, even if he has never played European football. The fact he is already being monitored by clubs like Chelsea, by Paris Saint-Germain, by Ajax tells you everything. Potential is not a promise, but it is a start. The question then becomes whether Rangers can offer the kind of environment where potential grows. Ibrox is not soft. It is not patient. It is not a nursery. If you play here, you are judged immediately, but maybe that pressure is what turns a young player into something more. Think about the examples of the past, players who arrived raw and left as names remembered for years. You need that blend of bravery and belief to walk out of the tunnel. If this winger does arrive, he would be jumping into a squad desperate for someone to stretch a defense, to deliver proper service into the area, to stop the attack feeling predictable. The team cannot keep relying on tight scorelines and hoping the defense holds. 1-0 wins become dangerous when a single moment of sloppiness destroys the entire plan. And that leads us straight back to tonight's lineup. Danny Rue stands at a crossroads. Does he trust the same 11 that battled through the last fixture? Or does he freshen it to keep the intensity. Someone like Mioski might come in to offer more presence. Sutar could return to put a bit more structure at the back. The midfield might need legs rather than names. There are plenty of players who can pass sideways. The question is, who can pass forward? Who can hurt St. Mirren in the pockets between their lines? Who can find that final ball that this team has been craving since the start of the season? Creativity has to return, and if it does not come from the current squad, then the transfer market will have to provide it soon. We know what St. Mirren will try to do. They will not come to Ibrox to trade punches for 90 minutes. They will sit deep when they have to, break when space opens, and try to frustrate the crowd until the tension turns on the players. They will look at what happened in that 2-0 defeat last season and remind themselves that Ibrox can be beaten if Rangers lose their edge, but that is where the players need to show something different. They cannot allow the match to drift. They cannot wait until the final 10 minutes to force the tempo. If Rangers start sharp, move the ball with pace, and actually attack the spaces instead of circling around them, then St. Mirren will crack. They always do when the pressure reaches that level. What this team needs more than anything is rhythm. The constant chopping and changing of performances makes it feel like every match is a fresh reboot, rather than part of a journey. To challenge properly, they need momentum, a run of matches where goals come earlier, where chances are finished instead of hesitated over, where confidence grows because the football itself demands it. Right now, too many players are playing like they are scared to make mistakes, and that is not how Rangers play. A player who joins from abroad, someone young and eager to impress, might just add the spark that flips the mood, and if he really is as tricky, quick and direct as the reports claim, then the supporters would welcome that kind of threat with open arms. There is still a sense of uncertainty, but that is football. Nothing worthwhile ever comes without risk. Every signing has unknowns. Every change comes with a moment of doubt. But if the club wants to stop feeling stuck, then choices have to be made. The second half of the season will not wait for anyone. The league will not pause until Rangers sort themselves out. And the fans, who have dragged this team through darker times than these, deserve performances that match their loyalty. They deserve football that feels alive again, football with courage rather than caution, football that makes you feel the noise rather than just hear it. Right, let's dive into this third part, keeping the same Scottish-English rhythm, that conversational flow like a YouTube presenter speaking straight to supporters who are living every moment of the season. And honestly, what we are seeing now feels like a story that is still being written, filled with pressure, expectation, and that feeling that every match day could shift the entire course of the campaign. The squad has been training with an intensity that you can practically feel from the outside, as if they know there is no room for hesitation. Every misplaced pass, every missed tackle, every time the back line hesitates, the consequences echo through the supporters like a cold wind off the North Sea. Ye can sense it when the team steps out for warm-ups. There is nay a lot of chatter, nay the usual relaxed smiles. It is focused, almost edgy, as if every player understands they are standing on a line that could tilt either way. Some of the young lads, eager to prove themselves, have started taking more risks on the ball, driving forward, challenging markers, instead of playing safe to the side. It is a sign of belief, or maybe a sign of desperation, depending on who ye ask. But either way, it is movement, and movement feels better than stagnation. The supporters in the stands have been reacting to it too. roaring at every forward run and drawing breath through their teeth at every mistake. The midfield has become the heartbeat of all of this. When they are sharp, when the first touch is clean, and the passes fire like arrows into space, the whole system breathes easier. But when the rhythm stutters, when the spacing gets too wide, and the press collapses, it feels like everything becomes a chase. And nay, a calm, composed chase, but one filled with panic, scrambling back, sprinting towards goal with the fear of disaster hanging just behind them. One wrong step and the entire structure falls apart like wet stone. Yet inside all of that chaos, there have been moments, tiny flashes, where ye can see what the team could be: a perfect diagonal ball over the top, a quick give and go that slices through two markers, a save that feels like a punch through the night. Those moments tell you the story is nay finished. On the wings, pacing has become critical. They are being asked to push high, stretch the opposition fullbacks, and then track back with the energy of someone running from a storm. It is thankless work sometimes, a lot of running, nay, a lot of reward, but that is the job right now, and the lads know it. If they drop even a step too slow, the opposition seizes space like wolves in open field. And when the counter comes, ye can see the coaching staff shouting orders from the sideline, hands cutting through the air like signals from a lighthouse. It is frantic, but purposeful. They are nay shouting because everything is broken. They are shouting because they still believe it can be molded into something sharp. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Rangers fans might want to brace themselves because a football bombshell appears to be brewing in Govan. Word on the street, and it's nay a typical rumour, is that Kenny McLEAN could be making the move to Ibrox, and if it happens, it might just shake up the Scottish Premiership in ways we've nay seen before. McLEAN, the versatile midfielder whose tireless work and eye for a pass he made him a fan favourite wherever he's played, is being tipped to slot straight into the heart of Rangers midfield. Sources close to the club hint that the management sees him as the perfect mix of grit, intelligence, and technical ability to dominate games from the centre. For years, Rangers have been hunting for that extra spark in midfield, someone who can break up opposition attacks while also orchestrating forward moves with precision. McLean's name keeps coming up in discussions among insiders, and there's a sense that his arrival could be transformative. His knack for timing tackles, reading the flow of a match, and his ability to find teammates in the right positions could offer Rangers the edge they crave in the middle of the park. It's nay just about defensive duties either. McLEAN has a reputation for snapping up chances and injecting energy when the team needs it most. Speculation is rife that the club's board had been quietly negotiating behind the scenes, keen to secure the 31-year-old before rivals had a chance to blink. If this deal comes to fruition, fans are expected to be delirious, picturing a midfield dynamo capable of changing the tempo of matches single-handedly. Some pundits are already whispering that his style could complement the current squad perfectly, adding a balance between creative flair and industrious defensive work. McLean's versatility means he could fit into multiple formations, whether Rangers opt for a high press or a more measured build-up. Of course, it's still early days and nothing is set in stone. But the very idea of Kenny McLEAN wearing the Rangers jersey is enough to set tongues wagging and imaginations running wild. Could this be the signing that redefines Rangers' midfield dominance? Only time will tell, but the buzz is undeniable, and if the whispers have any truth, supporters might be looking at a wee revolution right in the center of the park. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned